Hi everybody, thanks for being here. I'm running for House District 8. House District 8 is the Point, Mustang Ridge, and north, including the Ranchettes. It goes all the way north to the Torrington Highway. The west border is Yellowstone Road. The east border is Christensen Road. It's mostly rural, except for the Point and Mustang Ridge. In the primary election, there were two Republicans running. Steve Johnson, who was the incumbent, who was a member of the Freedom Caucus, and Luke Reiner. Luke Reiner beat him. Steve Johnson was one of the people that was defeated in the washout of the Freedom Caucus. So I am now running against Luke Reiner. And what I feel I owe the voters of House District 8 is where I differ from Luke Reiner. And so I'm just going to give a quick rundown of some of those things. On his website, Luke tells voters that he is pro-Wyoming energy industry, basically carbon-based energy. I understand that because when I was in Leadership Wyoming, we toured a mine up in Gillette. We talked to miners, and I know that the mining industry has not only supported families, but supported our government here in Wyoming. However, I would like to expand that and also back wind and solar energy, and I would be open to looking at a severance tax also for wind and solar energy taken from Wyoming. Mr. Reiner talks about being pro-life. I like to describe myself as not pro-life or pro-choice because I think those are political labels that can be false at times. I am pro-women's health care and privacy. A woman's medical decision, especially very difficult ones, are between her and her doctor and should be private, and the government has no place in making that decision. Speaking of medical care, Mr. Reiner claims that he, cares about medical something. I'm not quite sure what, but my goal would be to once again try to expand Medicaid. We are one of 10 states who have not expanded Medicaid. It is still available to us, even in this administration, and I would like to talk about doing that, and also an idea that Ted gave me, which is having Wyoming be its own self-insure, not self-insure, but reinsure. Yes, we can look at those things. Housing. I am currently on the My Front Door board, which is a housing program here in Cheyenne that helps people save money to buy their own homes. I am on the board of directors for that program. And when I was at the Department of Family Services, I spent about 16 years as an administrator at the Department of Family Services. And one of the jobs that I was given by Governor Meade was to be his first, what he called homelessness czar. And I wrote the initial 10-year plan to reduce homelessness in Wyoming. That was, under Governor Meade, so that was a few years ago. But I also was administrator over the Child Support Enforcement Program, TANF, SNAP, and child care subsidies. And so I know Mr. Reiner has also served in this state as being the head of Department of Transportation. But I served in programs that help people and help working families get the money they need to survive and to support their families. I also want to talk quickly about data centers. Mr. Reiner does not mention those, but one of the first things I would like to do is support legislation that will close a loophole in the Industrial Siting Act so that any data centers that are built here in Wyoming have to report to the public what their impact is. Right now they don't have to if they build on an industrial site center. And it's because of a loophole in the law that can be closed by the legislature. And I intend to do that. And thank you. And the big thing is schools. And many of you know my very handsome husband over here, who was the superintendent of schools for Laramie County School District 1 for many years, and I learned a lot from him. And Mr. Reiner mentions on his website that he is pro-parent involvement in education. I'm not quite sure what that means. It sounds nice, but I'm not quite sure what it means. But what I can tell you is I am in favor of full funding for schools and local control of each school district by their school board and their administration to make sure that the local needs are kept in a school district and that they are fully funded. I also oppose any kind of banning of books that have already been approved by a school district librarian. It's like, come on, let the professionals do that. And I have something here that I don't know what I mean. How about that? But, oh yes, I know what it is. One of the things I want to mention very, very quickly, my last thing, is as a lawyer, I worked for state government, as I said, for 16 years, and then I went to work for a company called National Debt Relief. Some of you may have gotten their advertisements and that kind of thing. I was their Wyoming attorney, so I had about 300 clients at any one time here in Wyoming. And what that taught me was some of the real financial problems that people here in Wyoming are going through, mostly because of medical bills and losing their jobs. And so it's very real. If people have financial crisis here in Wyoming, it's very, very real. And I really want to touch on that and help people where I can. Brenda Lyttle, House District 8, thank you very much.